Pushing the go button. 3, 2. Wow, that was totally coincidental. We both just had to burp at the exact same time. I'm awfully red looking in there. I just realized my white balance went to crap.
Here, I should just let me find an optimal place for the light. Like,
I don't care that we're live streaming now. I'm still gonna play the setup game. Y'all can just wait.
Ooh, the setup game. Oh yeah, what we do every week.
Yeah. It's like a strobe show. Sorry if anyone.
Yes.
Sorry if anyone's going to be forced into an epileptic seizure right there when I was messing with the slider. We try to make ourselves green in commemoration of St. Patty's Day, but the Logitech doesn't give you any hue control.
Nope, Logitech, if you're listening, please add hue control because even poor people Microsoft put it on their camera, so you guys should too. Come on.
And it doesn't look like OBS does either.
Oh, dude, you're giving me like an epileptic seizure.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, sorry, everybody. All right, I'm going to roll the intro.
Tech talk, roly poly tech talk.
You did that one last week.
Oh, did I? I've already exhausted boots and pants. How much time do I got left?
That does it.
Okay, there we go.
This is gonna be a weird show, guys. I'm drinking Monster, and Jerry is just Jerry.
No, so. And I took my ADHD meds for the first time in like a month. So
I thought those were supposed to make you more like, hey guys.
No, it's an amphetamine. What it does is
that sounds very important.
It is. It's basically medical meth. But no, the way that it works is when you have ADHD, your mind is running in so many different directions, like so fast. But it's not because your brain is going fast. It's because your brain is going slow, and it's like trying to compensate for everything by grabbing at everything it can. So the amphetamines and caffeine just bring you up just a tiny little bit, and then you mellow out as a result because you can actually focus, where you can't focus when your brain's like half asleep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. But I keep stopping taking it because I don't like it when if I take it and I work out, it'll give me a slight heart arrhythmia, and it's a it's like a known side effect. Like
when
he's like, oh, that's pretty common with this.
When I work out on meth, I feel funny.
I feel funny.
That's basically what you just said.
That's pretty much what I said.
When I'm on meth, I feel funny.
Literally, like I can't show you on camera because it's got my address and stuff on it, but it says right here on the bottle.
I'll just put it in the description. Don't worry.
It says amphetamine on the bottle. It's funny. Adderall is actually under it. The bolded word is amphetamine, and I just think that's funny because every time I go to the airport to like travel and stuff like that, I'm like, are they gonna stop me and ask questions? Because it says amphetamine on the bottle. That just sounds bad.
Jeez. All right, guys. Welcome to number 105 on this live show. I enjoy the live show because
because it's called Tech Talk, and we rarely talk about tech, and that's why I think it's funny that you said earlier. You're like, hey guys, this is gonna be a really weird show, and I was kind of taken back by that because it's like, can you remember the last time it wasn't a really weird show?
Yeah, there was one time we both were like super tired, and we should have called off the show. We had no energy. And that's the only time I could think of it. But the
problem with us is when we're tired, we both have this exact same problem. When we get tired, we get grumpy and irritated.
Fuck you.
And it's funny because I've had conversations with Jay on Skype before where it's like both of us are just on fucking a knife's edge for no other reason than we just didn't have good sleep or we're tired.
Yep, very true. There's been conversation. Oh, damn it! I keep forgetting to mute the stream. Sorry, guys. There's been conversations too where Jerry's kind of venting to me, and I'll start to vent to him, and he's like, "God damn it, Jay! I'm venting to you. I don't care about your problems right now. Just shut up and listen to my problems." And then it goes back and forth. So
yeah, we're a little bit girly on the sidelines. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, at least we're not in our myriads at the same time. That would be.
I know that'd be a little weird. So hey, we're on cnet.com right now. Do you want me to go ahead and just pull some random tech topics?
I would love to do some topics.
All right, let's do some
especially since we don't even have a title. I'm supposed to insert it.
Well, we'll insert it after the fact. That's actually genius. We should go with that every week.
That's how
every
babies
week
are made.
We should do that. So tell me this, Jay. How familiar are you with the realm of virtual reality?
Damn, I still look super red. Maybe I really am red. I think
you are pretty red. You almost look like you're borderline purple a little bit.
No, if you look at the background, the white balances it out. I think I might be having a chemical reaction to the monster. I never drink this.
I never drink this much. You are so purple right now.
I never. Wow, my face is hot. Somebody put cocaine in my Monster. I'm almost positive this is spiked.
You're drinking a Monster, which is like, this is the funny thing too, is like the Adderall's pretty mellow, because like drinking a coffee, like a cold brew coffee, actually gets me more amped up than that does.
My face feels very hot. Oh no, I know what it is. I forgot the baby was sitting on my lap earlier and she was playing with the RGB lights. She set him to pink. Hold on, let's see if this helps.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, woo, I was worried. I was legitimately worried.
Yeah, because I'm like, why is the back white but you're purple? That's a little weird.
because the baby put it on the pink lighting. Anyway, let the stream catch up and tell me if I look normal. I think I look normal now.
Okay, I will let you know.
Let's see.
As soon as it pops
green
on.
for St. Patty's Day. Ooh, yeah, I'm green.
So again, back to the original question. Sorry, what do you know about VR? Have you had any good VR experiences? Yeah,
I'm more of a VQ guy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've gotten to do a lot of demo with VR. With a lot of the trade shows and stuff that I go to, and it's just recently gotten to the point to where predictive VR is so good that I don't feel sick anymore.
No, that's the beautiful thing about it, right? Is I feel like they just it took them forever to get there, but they finally hit that point where motion sickness is no longer an issue. Well, as long as the computer doesn't hiccup. I don't. Hiccups, you'll flip over and start puking on the ground.
I don't know if anyone saw that, but I just tried to take a drink out of my Monster, but I had the can the wrong way. Anyway, real quick, we'll move on to the topic. I promise.
Yeah.
We just forgot to say this, guys. There actually is a description this week where everyone asks, "How do you donate?" It's in there now. And like last week, where I'm like, "Pay attention," or the week before when I forgot to put it in the description. It's there now.
I'm still trying to get YouTube to fix my channel so that I can host every other Tech Talk. So once they get that fixed, I'll just host like the next 97 Tech Talks. And we'll be caught up.
We do actually have a friend. Eric Hobbs is helping us out behind the scenes, keeping track of the green comments, putting them in a doc for us, and we're going to try and do the best we can to keep up with those and not miss them.
Good old Hobbseltoff. We love that guy. We met him at PDX Land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sat next to me.
He's good people. He's sarcastic as shit, but he's good people. So back to the VR thing. Yes. I got to play with the HTC Vive. I'm sure you probably haven't seen the video because it's like 36 minutes long, and we all know that you don't have that kind of attention span.
I did open it up for a second, saw the time, and closed it. I'm sorry.
Did you porn watch it where you like skipped ahead 15 seconds then?
I didn't even do that. I didn't even do that. I opened it with the intent, when I saw how long the video was, I opened it with the intention of coming back to it, but I haven't made it back yet. I'm one of those viewers.
It's actually pretty funny. Hey, I ripped the crotch out of my shorts while I was shooting it.
Oh no, I did see that. Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, that happened very early on in the video, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm rolling with this.
Jerry, I'm sorry. I did go back and watch it.
Okay. So the one thing I noticed about the Vive was before I tried the Vive, I thought the Oculus Rift was pretty much the front runner. Like nobody could touch them, right? They were the unobtainium. But I noticed that after doing a VR experience where I got to move around a whole room and actually stand up, sit down, bend over, roll around, look around, it just, for some reason, all of a sudden VR appealed to me.
How about the fact that the Vive actually gives you limits, so you don't walk into a wall?
That's epic how they did that. So guys, if it wasn't clear in my video or you didn't watch my video, it creates in the VR world, it creates boundaries for the room that you're in so that you don't go slamming into the wall. And the way it works is the closer you get to the boundary, this like translucent red net kind of shows up. It did simulate the wall. That way,
real quick. Everyone's saying rest in peace. Like the stream dropped. It didn't drop. It stopped streaming for me on my end too. Like watching the stream, I had to refresh the browser and then it worked. Like it's working, but I think YouTube's having a problem here.
I just refreshed. Same thing. It was like it stopped and I refreshed.
Yeah, guys, it's not Charter's fault. I'm monitoring all of my stream. Stream is healthy. It's YouTube seems to be having a problem.
Refresh the browser, people.
YouTube appears to be having a problem serving it, as if there wasn't enough problems with YouTube.
YouTube appears to be having a problem. Exactly, right? As YouTube's always having a problem these days.
Yeah.
But anyways, the VR experience, I noticed at 90 frames per second seems to be the sweet spot. Like that's what the Vive was running at. And I didn't have any kind of motion sickness at all, which even with the Rift during like the roller coaster demos and stuff like that, I did get slightly nauseous.
What was this hardware?
What was it?
What was his hardware? What was running it?
Oh, it was a massive computer. It was a 4 gigahertz i7, 32 gig RAM, a 980 Ti, I believe, or actually it might have been a Titan.
Okay.
It takes quite a bit to run it because I mean it's basically like a 1440p per eye display at 90 frames per second. So you can imagine that you're not going to you're gonna have to be pretty conservative with the graphics. And I've noticed that in the VR. VR doesn't have a lot of like crazy textures and stuff going on, at least not yet. That it will progress to that, but it's more important to maintain that 90 frames per second per eye than anything else. And they have to do that. And I'll tell you why, because during my demo, there was a hiccup in one of the games we played, and it didn't make it into the video. It was a mini putt golf game. And it would hiccup every once in a while where you'd be moving around and it would just pause for a fraction of a second. And
that's enough to make you throw up, in my opinion.
And it does. Just that slight fraction of a second makes you jerk. Like your body jerks. Yeah. And then you immediately feel like you're sick. And then it takes you a little while to catch up. So it's critically important in VR to maintain that frame rate. But overall, the Vive was epic, dude.
Now, the latest version of the Oculus, the one that's going, not the dev kit, but the one that's actually going to retail, I never experienced
CV1.
I don't remember the number, honestly. It was Nvidia that was demonstrating it for me, because Nvidia is a partner with Oculus.
Yeah, it's the one that has the desk-mounted head tracking, right? To improve the head tracking on it. Yeah.
That never hiccuped on me, but then again, I don't know how much of that was controlled environment either.
Everybody I know, or everything I've read and everybody that's told me says that the Rift hardware is identical to the Vive in resolution, in frame rate, everything. They're quite literally almost clones of each other. But where the difference is the Vive focused on the whole room experience, which is you have two light emitters that go in alternate corners of the room that can track you 360 degrees anywhere within the environment. Whereas with the Rift is more of a stationary experience where you put the thing in one place, and it's more for tracking minor movements like sitting.
It's not so much for moving around space. It's more or less just letting whatever demo or game you're in move, and your point of view is able to change with it.
Right, and the other thing is Rift is trying to come out with something, I forget what they call it. It's that they do have these controllers that go in your hands. The controllers are actually better than the Vives. They're more natural, and you can use your fingers and stuff like that.
I like the way that you were tossing it in the air and able to catch it.
Dude, I was literally seeing it in space. That's the thing you can't show in video, right?
Right.
Is that when I was tossing it up, it was quite literally like I was just seeing a cartoon version of the controller of the exact same dimensions twirling through the sky, and I was reaching for it and grabbing it.
Yeah.
In the fact
that goes to show how important both predictive rendering for VR and lag-free rendering experience is important. Because if it was even just let's say it was 15 milliseconds delayed, you wouldn't be able to catch it. Your brain would be too far behind.
Yeah, your brain gets so confused over that stuff so easily. And the weird thing that I can't understand, I can't fathom this, is why the hell does an Xbox controller? So stick with me here. A wireless Xbox controller has I think it's something ridiculous, like 10 or 15 milliseconds lag on the radio transmission and everything. How the hell is the Vive with all of these freaking trackers in the corner of the room and light transmission and everything all having this one-to-one lag-free experience? I cannot for the life of me figure out how that's possible.
Right.
Granted, it's not wireless. I mean, at some point, I'm sure they'll make a wireless version, but even with with all these wires running around everywhere, it just blows my mind that thing doesn't have any leg to speak of. I'm not even joking. If you try it, you actually get so comfortable in the environment that you're in that your brain actually starts believing that things are happening. If the floor falls away, your heart starts racing and you get panic.
Well, there was this one demo that Nvidia showed me with Oculus where you're in kind of like a cathedral thing.
Yes.
You're up on a balcony. And you can kind of lean forward and look down, and I'm afraid of heights, so it legitimately really started to bother me. To the point where it's dude, I'm in the freaking office. I know I'm not going to fall, but it's so immersive. It was just you were afraid for even just a few seconds there. It messes with you enough to where you're like, oh crap, this.
Even though you know it's not real, right? Yeah. Even though you know it's not real, you still get the rapid heart rate and everything because
it's like Lawnmower Man. Lawnmower Man. Do you remember that movie?
I do remember that movie. That movie was awesome. Job the lawnmower. Durr, I'm Job. And the next thing you know, he's running the world and killing everybody. That was epic.
Would you like
now I'm gonna have to go watch that movie. Thank you. So anyways, VR. I think the future of VR is hugely bright. After experiencing the HTC Vive,
there's screens right in front of your.
Derp. Yeah, good one there, Jay. God, you're hilarious.
Backlight.
But anyways, it's epic. You guys, I honestly believe that VR at this point, just like with 3D printing, when it first came out, everybody thought it was just kind of a fad, and now 3D printing is taking over the world. I think VR is honestly going to be the next iteration of the monitor. I mean,
we live in a plastic world now.
Yep, everybody's gonna be sitting there. Your mom's gonna like come in your room and be like and you're gonna be like because you didn't see her coming because you had your HTC Vive on.
All right,
it's gonna get really awkward.
Let me catch up on some green comments here.
Go for
I
it.
I have to laugh at our pre-show doc. It got a little. I can't really I guess show and describe.
There's a picture of a wiener, Dix DIX, Jay's Super Fun Happy Auto.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Give them the name of your show.
So I can't. I'm trying to come up with a name for the car channel, and I've already got some content lined up for that. And I polled the audience, and of course, Jay's Car Sense, and not CENTS, but SENSE, like sense of humor type of thing. That was suggested like 1,000 times, but that's so generic, right?
I kind of like it though.
People have suggested Jay's 2 wheels. Guys, I'm not on a motorcycle. Guys have suggested Jay's 4 wheels. Well, that sounds more like it's too off-roady. What's some of the other ones here? Jay's 2Z.
I'm gonna type
maybe. I kind of wish I had a Toyota because I would have totally done 2 JAYZ, 2 JZ. But anyway, I said, you know what? Screw it. I came up with a name. It's Jay's Super Fun Happy Auto Blip Car Vroom Zoom Time Show. That's what we're gonna call it. And you called it Jay's Driving, Jay Can Drive, or Jay Can't Drive on dollar, please.
There you go. Now read the name of your show.
Okay, we'll move your cursor. Jay's Super Fun Happy Auto Blip Car Vroom Zoom Time Show, $1 please right now, Joe.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
Okay. All right. So let me catch up on the green comments here. Shahin Asawi.
I love how we butcher names every week. It's like,
Shahin Isawi. He's sorry. $2. He says, hey, Jay, just want to say hi. Hello. I'm sorry I mutilated your name. Adam Lewis, $1. Donation test. Hashtag Team Orange. Sweet. Nick Siesta, $15. Wow, thank you. Half to Jerry until YouTube can fix his channel. No, he's going to have to come collect. You guys rock. Thank you, sir. Jerry Watson, $1. I owe you more for the fun. Can you do an ASRock AMD review? New boards add M.2 and faster memory. Quite honestly, M.2 support and a little bit faster memory doesn't work. A whole new segment on 4-year-old technology. Parik Meat says, or $10 during donation for using AdGuard on both your channels. Thank you, sir. And Dreju $1 says, why didn't you consider the PSU as a problem source in your troubleshooting video you posted today? My first build had the same problem, wound up that the PSU wasn't providing enough power on the 12-volt rail because there was a fault and the 12-volt rail not providing full rated power. Actually, that video that was, 14 minutes or something like that? There was actually 35 minutes of film for that. And for the sake of time, there were things that were cut down. In that particular situation, it still could be the PSU. In fact, I even told my buddy it might still be the PSU, but unlike you saying you think it's a 12-volt rail, I think the 5-volt rail is having a problem in his. It's a cheap Thermaltake PSU. So I told him I think he should consider getting a new power supply regardless. The only reason I didn't mention it in that video was because that point of that video was teaching you some of the beginning steps of what to do to try and troubleshoot basic non-boot problems. And your suggestion there of saying the PSU could be the problem gets a little bit deeper than what I wanted that video to do.
Testing a power supply is kind of tricky business unless you have a dedicated tester.
Well, one of the things I planned on doing, I know you haven't seen the video yet, Jerry.
I did watch some of it. I watched about 5 minutes.
So you saw how, like in the middle of trying to do the video, it just worked again, all on its own. I'm like, what the hell? I was getting ready to pull it out of the system, do a test bench, show you guys how to, I was going to use a second power supply to troubleshoot. And all of that got foobarred because the computer just decided to start working again. So it messed up my video, but it was, I still think, entertaining. If you guys liked it, go hit like. Don't let the haters win. Go over there.
Don't let the haters win.
No, seriously. And if it's me, Linus, Logan, Barnacles, whoever, go support your content creators for the love of God. They're not going to always be here, and there will be a day you'd be like, you know what? I like that guy. I miss him. That day is going to come. So keep us around.
You're gonna be
as
like,
long
what
as you guys
happened to
want.
that guy? And
well, the internet shit all over that guy. That's what happened.
Yep. They shit all over him, and now he rides a desk.
So anyway, yeah, you're absolutely right. The power supply was something I was starting to consider as being a problem in this, and we're still not 100% done. He's got to go back home and run it for a bit and see if the problem comes back. But if it does, then yeah, power supply is the very next thing I was going to suggest.
If you're going to get into building computers, though, honestly, like one thing you definitely want in your toolkit is a power supply tester, and they're cheap. You can buy them for $10 at like Hard Drives Northwest. You can probably get them like for $1.50 off mono price, but they're in Chinese, and some kid died making it. But
YouTube is having such a hard time.
I noticed this.
Serving
I just refreshed
1080p.
again.
You can try watching it in 720 instead of 1080, but I don't know. YouTube seems to be having some server problems today.
I'm all like,
oh my god!
Around. So that's the problem with big screens.
It's the DDoSers. OMG! It's the DDoSers.
We're getting. Are they already talking about the DDoSers over there?
No.
We're getting the DDoSers. No, it's still working.
We're getting the DOS.
So let's see. What do we have over here? Ooh, Nike. Nike apparently made some power lacing sneakers. Wait, are these like available to the general public? I'd buy these.
Aren't those the ones that were because of?
The Back to the Future McFly sneakers. Yeah.
Right.
So it says the self-lacing sneakers take a new form in Nike's latest creation. Also, Apple Watch gets EKG powers thanks to the Cardia band, and Fossil puts fitness tracking into tech jewelry. Okay, I just want to know about that. I don't care about the other shit. I just want to know about the Nike stuff here.
Yeah.
Damn it, they don't say if you can buy them or not.
I doubt it. From what I understand, there was a story on this a while back.
You can. You can. It's called the HyperAdapt 1.0. They don't have a price listed, but yes, they will be on sale, and they will be on multiple different versions of the shoes.
Because the last one I saw was they had made a replica or a functional version of the one from Back to the Future 2.
I saw that one, yep.
And they gave them to Michael J. Fox, like the only pair that existed.
No, I thought they did. I thought they did a limited run of them. It was like 1,000 or something, but they were going for like ridiculous money. Like nobody could afford them.
It's possible that was what happened, but the one that I saw was specifically showing that they gave them to Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, because they did a fake. Was it the fake version? Like when the movie originally came out, they did like a fake version of them that didn't really auto lace, but it had like a mechanism. Mm-hmm. And those go on eBay for like thousands of dollars. Those are like super super rare. But I know that they did the one you're talking about where you put your foot in it and it actually really does power lace. But I think you're right. I think those probably were never available to the public. But yeah, there was enough of a demand for it that they actually created a mechanism. It works, and I'm actually looking at it on a Nike sneaker right now, like an actual Nike sneaker, not like some crazy big moon boot.
That's funny. Crazy. Someone in chat's like, call this phone number. That's Jay's number. That's so far from being my number. It's not even funny. 818 is in the valley. I wonder whose number is going to start randomly getting called. Oh, man. The internets.
The internets is really, really great.
I'll be honest, though. YouTube doesn't usually have a problem with the live streaming, but when it does, man, does it derp.
Yeah, it's actually usually pretty reliable, but honestly, last week was your problem, though. I mean, OBS kept crashing.
No, the week before, you mean?
Oh, it was the week before that?
OBS only crashed, because Little Jay had not back to school, but open house night. Yep. OBS only crashed on me once. It always seems to crash once on me. But this time it happened before we went live, so I'm hoping it'll make it through the stream without actually crashing. That'd be nice.
Oh, I'm just reading an article here that says young people prefer an internet connection to daylight when asked in a UK survey. It's not a US survey, it's a UK survey. So I don't want to hear none of those America jokes.
So does that mean in America more people probably requested a hamburger than an internet connection? I'm not even sure. 57% selected that they'd want hot water over an internet connection, but daylight just totally got screwed. Like nobody cares about daylight. They're all in the basement anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's hilarious. Let's see. Is there anything else going on cool here? Everything all right? Nah, I don't care about that. Let's see. Kickstarter saves struggling drip music service at last minute. I don't even know what drip music is. It's probably why I needed saving, huh?
Hmm.
Nintendo finally goes
vocal. They misspelled dirt music. That was it.
I'm kind of done with Nintendo. What are your thoughts on Nintendo? I feel like they've really been fucking over content creators and being assholes in general to the entire community. So I'm kind of boycotting them.
I don't know. I never tried to use any of Nintendo's IP to try and make any money or do anything. As a consumer, I mean, Little J loves the Wii U.
The Wii U is pretty legit. I like the Wii U.
I love that she can play games. I love that she can play games on the handheld and not have to utilize the TV.
As a parent, I can totally sympathize.
Someone linked his phone number, and it's not even a U.S. number. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
That's awesome.
They eat GPUs. I do eat GPUs.
If you guys really want to call me, my phone number is 123-456-7891.
Zero. No, zero. It's zero.
Oh, zero?
One's your fax.
See, I'm sorry. I don't dial myself that much, so Jay knows. Let's see here. The Four Horsemen of the Rise of the... Wait, what is this? The Four Horsemen of the Rise of the new X-Men Apocalypse. It is X-Men Apocalypse trailer. Apparently, there's a new X-Men movie coming out. Okay, well, I still need to see Deadpool. I haven't seen Deadpool yet. I know. Have you seen it?
Twice. That's a lot. That's a lot for me. Yeah, I went to see it with a friend of mine and loved the movie. And my wife is she's not like into Marvel, but she enjoys Marvel movies, right? Which is a good thing because it keeps me from having to go see the Notebook's remake of the Notebook. And I see you wanting to spit out your. She loves them girly movies. So the other night, we finally got a date night, like our third one since the baby's been born a year and a half ago. We were just driving around in the Z trying to figure out what are we going to do. And I said, why don't we go see Deadpool? She's like, really? I'm like, I think you would like it because Deadpool kind of acts the way I wish I could act sometimes. And she's like, okay, let's go see it. She loved it. She loved Deadpool, hands down. She said it was one of her favorite
So do you agree
Marvels.
that Ryan Reynolds,
he's the only one that could have pulled that off?
Yeah, I mean, just like the whole Tony Stark thing with
Iron Man and Tony Stark.
What? No, why does he slip my name? Or slip
Stark?
my mind? The guy who plays him.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. It's like Robert Downey Jr. in real life is basically Tony Stark.
Yeah,
he's like eccentric, alcoholic, millionaire. It's like except for he's billionaire.
It's funny because Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool doesn't seem that far off from Ryan Reynolds in other movies, especially like the college age movies, right?
Right. It's almost like he was groomed his entire career just like to play this role.
Yeah, absolutely. He even makes fun of himself in this movie. At one point, he's like, "How do you think Ryan Reynolds got ahead? It wasn't on superior acting skills." Yeah.
Well, no, one of the coolest things I like about Deadpool is one of his abilities in the universe is that he can interact with the fourth dimension, basically like the audience.
Oh yeah.
So he talks to the audience, and he's fully well aware that he's partaking in a story.
He's like fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break.
Yeah, that's what it is. The fourth wall. Yeah, no, but I always thought that was really funny and made his character unique because it's like and it made the video game cool. Did you ever play the Deadpool video game?
No, I actually haven't.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I didn't get to beat it. I only played it for a short period of time. But oh my god, it's amazing. Like the dialogue through the whole thing, the story. Can
I set something straight in the chat real quick? Since so many people seem to have comprehension skill issues here, Quilson says, Jay's, and your 370Z was automatic, and TJ's video was a manual? That's because it's not the same fucking car. The other car was a 350Z. This is not the same. You know how many people legitimately have thought I did some sort of a manual swap? And like a 370Z conversion?
Well, I don't necessarily blame them, though, because it's like you had a car and then you had another car that looked like your car with a wing on it. I mean,
no, it didn't. The 370 and the 350 look nothing alike.
To me, they do. They totally look alike.
That's because you're dumb.
Any normal person that isn't crazy would look at those two cars like if you just glanced at one and glanced at the other, you would be like,
the paint code on the 350Z was WV2 Silver Slate. The paint code the paint code on the 370Z is K51 Platinum. Okay? Platinum Gray. No, it's not.
They both have the door handles that look like they belong on an outdoor grill.
No. Which is outdoor grill? What are you talking about?
You know, like your barbecue? They look like barbecue grill handles.
The handles don't go up from the bottom. They're sideways, stupid. You drove the fucking car. How do you not know this?
I love that car. I will admit, though, that car is tits.
You can't give me shit. You as a self-proclaimed car guy that you call yourself, not me, you.
Yes. Okay.
You cannot give me shit as someone who's had mold growing out of every single orifice and crack of your car. Mold and algae.
And still do.
It's
just the mold on the surface has been removed, but there's still mold in every crack. I haven't gone through in detail
so what is that, sound insulation? What is this? No self-respecting car guy will ever let that happen.
You've got what we like to refer to as a garage queen. You know, a beautiful looking car that only gets driven on the nicest roads. I've got a car that goes out in the dirt. It's got purpose-built skid plates underneath it so that logs don't go through the transmission.
That's not an excuse to just let the paint go.
It kind of is a little bit.
No, it's not. Letting your paint go because you rallied it is one thing. Letting the paint go because it got shat on by Seattle is another.
Hey, Subaru specifically said that for that 5-year stretch of time around my car was made that their paint actually did have a problem, and it does come detached from the primer, and that's what I experienced on the roof. So it wasn't my fault. I mean, I probably helped it. Like, it probably would have lasted like another 5
because
years,
you went to take the algae off, and the algae was like, no! And so it grabbed
the algae
onto
was
everything.
like, nose, I like the paint. Give it to me.
It took the paint with it.
Nose, all the
Oy.
paint. Oh, let's see. What is going on in the world? You guys over there in chat, do you have any topic? Actually, here, we'll do this. We'll do the Twitter route. If you guys would like us to talk about a topic, go over and use hashtag AskTechTalk over on the Twitter sphere.
That's ask, not ass. Tech
Talk? Not Ask Tech Talk. Actually, somebody did do that. I think it was a typo, but I did see that one week. All right, so let's see. Does anybody? Oh, look, people are already doing it. One person did. Excuse me. Let's see here.
Single-handedly bringing down America, man.
Somebody recommend that you call your channel Jay's Maryland? Merollin? Me Rollin? Oh, Jay's Me Rollin.
No.
Nah.
Nope.
I'm not feeling Jay's Me Rollin.
That's a lot of emojis. It's got to roll off the tongue.
And then he asked a question. He said, what do you guys recommend when dealing with an RMA? Wait. I mean,
Contact them first, tell them the problem, request the RMA. You can't just send product back. You've got to get the RMA, which stands for Return Merchandise Authorization.
Yes, get the RMA first, because if boxes just show up with random goods in them, they'll either send them back or throw them in the dumpster.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, let's give them to their kids.
Like, ooh, another surprise. I like this.
Yay. Oh, man.
So I just saw, actually, this is kind of some interesting stuff. I don't know if it's hyperbole or whatever, but you know how Xbox now is saying that they want to create games that are that you can cross-play online with PlayStation 4?
No.
Do you know if there's any truth to that, or is that just some bullshit going around?
Don't know.
Because I don't know why Microsoft would do that.
They're already working on fucking over PC gaming more than it already is.
Yeah, I know. That actually super pisses me off. Like, I was all excited about Forza until I realized it was just basically going to be a modern app version that's like VSync locked and you can't do shit to it, and 60 frames per second.
It'll probably be Super Sim Katie. I bet you the physics engine won't even work as good.
Though they won't even change it from like a controller. It'll still be mapped to like an Xbox controller, so it like won't work well with wheels and stuff. We'll see. It just kind of made me sad. Although they did say that Xbox. Oh, one more thing. Xbox One apps will be able to run on Windows 10, and vice versa. So they are working on that once that's done. So if you're a developer and you create an application for Windows 10, which nobody uses Windows 10 apps, like honestly, nobody even uses the modern shell anymore. If you do create one of those apps, then theoretically you can just port it directly over to Xbox. You don't have to do anything. It'll just be available on both platforms. So that's kind of cool if it wasn't such a shitty platform.
I want to catch up on some green comments here, sir.
Do it.
Okay, Chris Miller donates a buck and says, Jay, thanks to you, I water cooled my first computer. Thanks. I almost feel like I could read that like, Jay, thanks to you, I water cooled my first computer. Thanks.
Like all sarcastic.
You can read it both ways. Spike P100, 5, I believe that's British money, I'm not sure. 5 pesos, probably. Thanks to you both. Oh, Jerry is including you in this one.
Nice.
Jerry, thanks to you both. Got it. Then he has a question for you. Jerry, what do you think about the Olo printer? Where the hell happened to my voice? What do you think about the Olo printer? Visible light photopolymer instead of UV.
I do not believe that the Olo printer technology is mainstream right now. But I think it's awesome. It's a hell of a lot faster than the UV cured photopolymer, and I think it's actually more cost effective.
What he said.
Yeah, because the Olo printer, like, did you ever see the demo of the 3D print where they basically made a sizable 3D print and it was high resolution? They did it in 8 minutes, like during a TED Talk.
No, I still am not interested in any of that crap. Just being honest.
There's so much 3D
That's your
printing
segment,
technology
man.
out here that I still need to cover. Don't worry, guys. 3D printing is coming back. I just got a job. My biggest 3D printer ever is sitting in a box downstairs right now from CME CNC. That sucker's going to have like a 30-inch build volume. That thing's massive. I still have my photopolymer printer that I still need to review from Full Spectrum Laser, the Pegasus printer. The reason why I haven't reviewed it is because I had some technical problems with it, but we worked them out. We just ran out of time. That's why I didn't get to the review. Mm-hmm. But that printer, other than being incredibly expensive to print, it can print down to 10 microns, which is like amazing resolution. It almost looks like an injected molded part. It's insane.
I'm just being an asshole here.
Are you just being a dick?
Jeff says, I'm working on my own rendition of Skunkworks. Do the Bits Power rotary angled adapters require having a rigid compression attached to them? I went with just the regular angled threaded angle. I can't talk. I just went with the normal threaded adapters for the 45s and 90s and put my Primo Chill revolver fittings on there. But Bits Power does sell them with compression fittings for rigid tubing already on there in both 12 millimeter and now 13 millimeter diameter, outer diameter. So you could do both. It's more cost effective to get it already attached. The problem was I never know exactly what I need, so I don't want to be locked down to just using the ones that are already attached. Cody Schneider.
Hold on, Joker agreed with me. He said the free 350 and 370 look the same. So I got Joker.
Nobody asked him. So Cody Schneider, $5 says, "Love your videos, Jay. They pushed me into custom water cooling my first PC." Oh wait, once again, love your videos, Jay, but they pushed me into custom water cooling my first PC.
You dick, I'm poor now.
That's why I say it sarcastically. It's almost like they're like, "Look what you've done."
Dude, water cooling is expensive. You have to admit. I mean, prices have come down a little over the years, but it's still pretty ungodly expensive. You can spend as much, if not more, water cooling your computer than the base cost of the components.
So he said, "Second, I tweeted at you for an opinion on a new run. Understand if you don't want unsolicited requests for advice. If you saw it, though, did it look okay? I have no idea what you're referring to, so I'm going to say no, I have not seen it. I get a lot of pictures tweeted, so it's always possible that I've missed it."
I sent Jay all kinds of pictures, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I still use that one. In fact, I'll put it up later so we get more subs. Mr. Fozzie41 says, "Hi, Jay. If you have a GPU with a water block and don't have the air cooler like with the EVGA hydrocoppers, can you post to test it if it works no matter with no water running through it without damaging it, or do you have to put it on your water loop and bleed the whole?" Okay, so I actually showed this in a video where on Maxwell GPUs with a water block attached to it, even though there's no water in the system, you can boot up the system just to make sure everything posts without water. Just don't put it under any load. Most Maxwell GPUs, in fact, their coolers now don't even turn the fans on. Even though they have a heat sink, and it's not just a copper block touching it, but they have a heat sink, the fans don't even turn on until they're under load. So you're fine. I showed it in a video. In fact, the temperatures would only be like 10 or 15 degrees Celsius hotter than with the fans running with no water in the loop. Just don't put it under load. Just make sure the computer boots. If it does, immediately shut it down, through shutdown in Windows, and then fill your loop. Fuck you. All right, Mousetrap 78, $10. Wow. 2 times $10 donations, $20 total. Hey, we're doing math today. Great work, guys. Thank you, Mousetrap. So guys, that's your lesson for today. 2 times $10 equals $20. Tech PC Gamer, $2. Just wondering, Jay, where did you get the countertop table and legs you made that workbench desk out of? Have a link. Would love to make one myself. Wow. IKEA. Everything's in that video, man. Everything's in that video. CCM 1092 says Jay goes vroom vroom for the new channel. I actually jokingly thought about that because the baby likes to go vroom vroom when she sees my car. So I was like, Jay's vroom vroom. Should be the channel. Chris Miller says it can go both ways. I thank you. My wallet does not. Started a new love. That's why I say it sarcastically, because once you start water cooling PCs, it becomes addictive, and you kind of want to always water cool.
Or like me, you get fed up with it a year later, and you realize that the loop starts degrading the tubing, and coagulated up, and then you're like screw this, and then you just go back to air cooling because you're lazy.
Your liquid is converted to a solid.
It does too. Make no mistake.
Toby K321 says, either of you guys ever considered doing a video on DIY home surveillance? Yes, and home automation. I really want to do some home automation stuff.
I'm kind of torn on it. I started a video twice now, and I haven't posted it because the problem is if I do a demo on the video surveillance system, then I'm doing a video on my house and my specific video surveillance system, and then anybody that wants to case my house or whatever can just go and watch the video and see exactly, because a lot of my cameras are concealed. So I don't want to be
except for the one right there by your door.
This is the dead spot where you can sneak by all the cameras. So
they're all doing it Mission Impossible style.
Yeah, because I have my system. I think now has 12. I think I've got 12 cameras now, and I want to add 3 more though, because they make this IP camera that's really cool. You can put up in your house. It's powered by a solar panel, so you don't have to run any wires or anything like that. So I really want to do that.
So here comes this question again. Scott Beckman says, "Hey guys, thanks for being awesome. I have a question for Jerry. I know you get this a lot, but I was just wondering if
when is CodeGasm coming back?
Any CodeGasm videos this year?" Ooh, I think no, let me change my tone. I think he was actually saying that a little bit snarky. Like, I know you get this a lot, but I was just wondering if you plan to release any Codegasm videos like this year.
That actually gave me an eye booger. That's how that question gave me.
He gave you an aneurysm, is what happened.
I'm just gonna do it. I'll release a Codegasm in the next 3 weeks. It's probably not gonna be anything like spectacular, but I'm gonna do something because if I don't get back to coding, I'm gonna just wither away in this nasty YouTube world.
NoX says, Jerry, best headphones for less than $200.
Less than $200 bucks.
What are those Sonys that you like?
The Sonys are the ones I like. Yeah, the MDR V6, I think is what it is. Sony like MDR V6 studio monitors. You can get them for around $100, a little under $100. They're amazing for.
That's a lot of hard drives behind you, sir.
I know, right? It's my porn collection.
Oh, those are 6 terabyte drives.
yeah, man. I ran out of eSATA connectors, so I just
you want to know how much porn he really has? They're all in 360p, and yet those are full.
HD porn is for people that have internet connections.
No, HD porn is for people who want to throw up. Chris Barr, this is for me. He says, I got a great idea for a car show. Take fans' cars to the canyons and do a driving video commenting on how good or bad the car performs. You mean like every other car review channel out there? That's original.
Including the guy that reviewed Jay's.
I should just change my name to Matt Farah. Just call myself instead of the smoking tire, more like the screeching tire. Just be a complete ripoff with a fake beard and the whole deal. Oh man! All right, we'll get back to some green comments after we move forward here a little bit.
All right, so let's see. Blackhawk 8100 asks, "What about AMD's new VR thing they announced?" AMD doesn't have money to create VR.
Actually, they did release.
Wait a second. The Salon.
So you can get your VR experience while getting your hair did.
Oh, your VR. Okay, so let's see. Jaw-dropping VR and AR wireless headset. Oh, wireless headset. Okay, I guarantee you, if it's wireless, that it's not going to be 1-to-1. No,
that sounds like vomit-inducing.
Oh, it looks like it does augmented reality because it's got cameras on the front of it. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of nichey. They'll sell 3 of them. Let's see. Go back. Hey, well, we're on the topic of AMD. Have you heard anything about AMD X Connect?
Well, hold on. Someone donated $100. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Philip? But thank you. How about a video on phase change cooling for new CPUs? Everything out there is back during the P4 and Core 2. Now, there's been some new stuff doing phase change. The thing I don't like about phase change is that the biggest thing with phase change is, one, I don't think it's good for daily use computers. And I know there's someone here that's like, "That's bullshit, Jay. I'm unsubbing. You said something I don't like."
No, I'll agree with you on that.
Phase change, one, it takes long time for the PC to actually boot, several minutes, in fact. It's the phase change when it ties into your front panel connector. So the case's front panel connector goes to the phase change cooler, which then goes to the motherboard. And when you push power on the PC, the phase change is going to power up, and it's going to chill the fluid. It's going to go through the phase change, right, which is why it's called a phase changer. It's going to chill everything, and when it gets to the right operating temperature, then it's going to turn on the motherboard. And it can take several minutes from the time you touch power to where the system boots. Second of all, condensation control can be a bitch. One of my followers had an amazing phase change system, looked great. He had a water-cooled loop for the GPU and a phase change system. It was all white, looked really nice. He actually ended up ruining his hardware over time because condensation did leak through the condensation barrier that you had to put on the motherboard and destroyed his hardware. So
do you guys remember Peltier coolers from back in the day? Remember when those were really popular?
Yeah, same basic.
It's the same basic principle, right? You get really hot and exhaust the heat on one side, but you get really cold on the other side, and it forms condensation. I actually had a motherboard where the computer just stopped working one day. I pulled the chip out of the slot, and water poured out. And it was completely eroded away. The bottom of the chip was completely eroded away.
So I feel like just like the guys who do LN2 cooling, but remember, LN2 guys, it's a momentary thing. That liquid nitrogen is turning into a gas almost immediately. Yeah. And it's evaporating super fast. You're constantly having to fill the tower, but that's
and have you ever seen the insulation that they do on those? It's not just the tower around the CPU. They basically take like putty and cover the entire motherboard just like packed in putty. It's crazy.
Yeah, like way around the socket, around the memory and everything. So but LN2, right, that's only momentary while you're trying to go for those clocks and you keep refilling the tower, et cetera, et cetera. So I think phase change would be fun to play with, but it wouldn't be something that I would use like on the regular.
Phase change is the closest thing you're going to get to LN2 that's constant. But I agree with Jay that over time it's probably gonna create condensation problems, unless it's like some factory pre-built system with massive R&D into how to get how to evaporate off all of that condensation and keep it. You're not going to do that with a home brew system. You're not going to just like throw something together.
Well, there are companies that sell these turnkey phase changers with they're literally turnkey. The whole thing is self-contained unit. Some of them were even small enough to fit in the basement of like a Case Labs case or something.
Really? What do they stick you for one of those?
Oh God,
price wise,
I want to say around 1,000, maybe a little less. Look it up.
$1,000?
Performance PCs, performance-PCs.com sells them. I think it would be fun to play with.
Okay,
it'd be fun to play with, but it has to be one on hardware that like. For me personally, I'm answering this in my perspective. It has to be on hardware that I'm not using every day, and hardware that I can afford to destroy if shit went south with the concept.
Yeah, but if you look at these phase change cooler kits, like I'm looking at one right now for $18.99. I mean, that's up there.
Yeah.
And it basically comes with like a roll of foam for cutting and insulating everything, but it's like it's still DIY, right? I mean, you still have to cut it for your application and make sure that you don't leave any gaps or any place for condensation.
Oh no, see, and they have to do that because every motherboard's different. So the insulating of the motherboard to give yourself a condensation barrier is DIY, but the unit itself is pre-assembled.
No, it looks like it's actually a pretty clean assembly too. The way that they did the block with the phase change coming down right over the top.
Yeah, and it's sleeved and it looks really nice.
I know. I'm kind of like curious now. I was on the fence about it, but I'm like, this kind of looks cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could spend, it's expensive though. I mean, if you're spending $2,000 just on the phase changer, and it looks like this particular model has it supports up to 2 CPUs or 1 CPU, 1 GPU. So you can phase change your GPU also. I don't know. You might have to do this, Jay. You might have to reach out and contact some of these companies.
Yeah. Well, I have the space to do it now.
You need to. The Cooler Express 2015 design super evaporator.
The other thing you have to remember too is those things put off a ton of heat into the room. Like those things put off a lot of heat. If you've ever felt the heat that comes off the back of a refrigerator or an air conditioning unit, they are hot. They are literally sucking as much heat out of the atmosphere as they can to get way below ambient, and they're doing it through pressure.
And the other thing I didn't even consider is what is the wattage draw on this? Because heat is proportionate to wattage, so I bet you this thing pulls 110 volts at 5.2 amps. So you're looking at what, close to 550, 600 watts just for this?
Just for that, yeah. It has to run on its own power supply.
Yeah, so basically, if you plug that in and you have a computer that's like, a big heavy build with Titans in it, drawing 1,100, 1,300 watts, I mean, you're going to blow a breaker.
Yeah,
a 15 amp breaker won't handle that, and like a dual Titan build.
It's one of those things where it's more or less for like overclocking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for overclocking, and it's good for the incidentals. And that's why if they make one that works on the GPU, that'd be fun too. If you just wanted to go for like single GPU, go for high scores on single GPU.
That's what I'd be more interested in, because honestly, you get pretty diminishing returns, with CPU, especially with multiple cores and stuff like that. It just seems like you get diminishing returns, whereas the GPU, it's like, I've overclocked my GPU like 10% before, and it's like you see like an increase of like 10 to 15 frames per second. It's like instant gratification. You don't get that with a CPU overclock. So I'd be curious to see how far you could push a GPU. But it's funny, you never see anybody LN2 cooling GPUs.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen anybody doing that? I haven't.
What, GPUs?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. How do you think these guys all have the world records on GPU mark?
Is that so? How are they doing it though? I mean, are they literally just building a little tower on top of the graphics card?
So the graphics card is sitting upright, right, on a flat test bench.
Okay.
And then it mounts to the side of it and then sticks straight up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so they're like extending the PCI slot out or something so they can move the graphics card.
Well, a lot
or is
of these
it still wedged into the motherboard, like at an angle?
Well, remember the motherboard's flat, so the graphics card is perpendicular to the horizon. So it's
right, but if you have a CPU and you have a water cooler or something on that, it's going to obstruct you being able to put a tower over the GPU.
The towers for the GPUs aren't that big; they're just tall.
Oh, okay. So they can't get them in there. I gotta watch that because I've always seen CPU overclocks. I haven't seen the GPU stuff.
Just do a Google search for GPU LN2, and you'll see what the towers look like. They're custom made. But yeah, they're tall and they're cylindrical, and they just.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. They're actually not as tall as the CPU ones.
Yeah, but they also, for the most part, are much more concentrated than the size of the CPU. Like GPU core is super tiny, So you can get a lot of cooling on a smaller tower.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now. The tower is actually on its side,
right?
Coming out. So okay, I see how they're doing it now. That makes sense.
Yeah.
God, that's cool. I kind of want to do this stuff, but where do you get liquid nitrogen? Like, can you just go somewhere and just buy liquid nitrogen?
Here you
can. Or do you have to have like some kind of a license or something?
No, here you can, but I only so much of it, and I don't want liquid nitrogen at home. I'm not interested in that.
I know it's kind of dangerous stuff.
It's really not that dangerous, but I just don't want it here.
Well, as long as you keep it moving. If you don't keep it moving, it'll burn the crap out of you. Well, I know because they just burned warts off my hands with it, and it freaking hurt so bad. Ugh.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go back, get some more. Let's get some more Ask Tech Talks here.
Okay.
I saw a comment earlier. I'm sorry it went by, so I don't know who asked it, but somebody was asking more about the bike that I just got. The new shiny that's got Fatty back on the road. It's actually a rad power bike. If you go look on my feed, I actually have an affiliate link for it too if you guys are interested in buying it, or if you want to test drive it and you're in the Seattle area, go down to Ballard, and they actually have a showroom down there where you can go and test drive these things. But yeah, I did a test with it this morning. I rode it 2 miles down a very, very steep hill, jumped on a trail that was an old railroad track, but it's like hard packed dirt. They just removed the railroad. And I went a little over 16 miles with no pedaling, literally just 20 miles an hour, fully cranked throttle, just going. And 2 of those miles were up a steep hill with me pedaling. I was also assisting because it only makes about 1 horsepower. So that's not enough to push 291 pounds at that gearing up a hill, but it greatly reduces how hard you have to work to get up a hill. Like I was able to ride up like 2 miles of very, very steep hills while still sitting on the seat. I didn't have to stand up on the pedals or nothing.
Right.
And so no, it's actually badass. It's totally getting me off the couch. Also coasting down hills because the wheels are so big. It's got the 4-inch wide tires. I was coasting down the hills in my neighborhood doing 40 miles an hour down these super steep hills I'm talking about, and just following behind cars and stuff. And the thing's completely stable. You don't feel any of that scary kind of speed wobble you get with the smaller tires because you have more rotational mass. It just kind of keeps you upright. You feel like you can just let go of the handlebars and just go. So no, I've been loving it. I've absolutely been loving it. I'm actually going to go ride it again right after we're done here because I have to go down and pick something up from town. So I'm using my bike for that now.
Gotcha.
It's exciting, Jay. It's exciting.
I'm still all about the human horsepower, but you'll get there.
I'll get there. I gotta lose 100 pounds. Basically, my 1 horsepower doesn't even compensate for the weight you've lost. Like you still.
I was heavier than you when I started riding my bike, though.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that the amount of weight that you are you weigh less. Well, what's your weight right now? What are you sitting at?
242 today.
So at 242, so you're about okay. So I take that back because the 1 horsepower mitigates about 100 pounds.
Uh-huh.
So it's probably pretty significantly easier for me to pedal up a hill on that thing than you are on your bike. So never mind. My argument's moot. I can't make it anymore. You are powerful, Jay. I bow before you. Somebody recommended.
I'm glad you finally realized this.
I did. How about Jay's Emissions?
Jay's Emissions or lack thereof.
No, it's funny because it's a fart joke too. How about Jay's Supercharged?
I'm not yet.
Yeah, Jay's SC.
All right, let's just stop because these are bad.
Okay, these are actually pretty bad.
I wanted to see if anyone could come up with anything super clever. So far, I think the one that I like the most. I'm not sure I'm going to go with it, but someone suggested Tech on Wheels, and I thought that was kind of a neat one.
I like that's actually one of the better ones.
Okay, so
it's tow, dude. Tech on Wheels is TOW, tow. What they're going to do to your car when you blow the motor.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, so, okay. Dan Diamond says, Jay and Jerry, huge fan, inspired by you both. Jay, your knowledge helped me water cool my PC. Jeez, have I helped anyone do anything besides water cool their PC?
You are pretty much only water cooling. Like everything's just like me. I'm 3D printing, even though I haven't done a 3D printing video forever. That's all people care about.
That's not the guy I want to be. I'm not just a water cooler, damn it.
You're just a water cooling guy.
So, Jerry, stop putting me in a box, everybody. So, Jerry, you inspired me to buy a 3D printer. Have you considered a simple name for your car channel, like Jay's Garage? Have you ever heard of Jay Leno's Garage? It sounds way too much like that. So I've thought of Jay's Garage.
That's a good thing, actually.
Jay's Garage?
Yeah, because you'll get the association. Like, you'll get all of his SEO.
No. The car community, just like the PC community, is very, very close-knit, and it would be nothing but, look at this guy trying to copy Jay Leno. Anyway, my science dude says, what do you guys think of Cyber Patriot, a computer security competition? Is that one of those competitions where you get money for cracking and hacking things? Never heard of it.
I like sanctioned hacking stuff. Like, Man, my brain is not working today. What's the Dream Hack? The one that they do in Las Vegas? I love that. Like where they have signs up, it's like turn your cell phone off.
I thought Dream Hack. I'm pretty sure Dream Hack was a land in Europe as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, what's the one called that's in Las Vegas? Hold on,
I don't know.
Vegas hacker.
Lee
I'll just use the internet for everything. Let's see.
It makes you sound smarter when you copy the internet.
I know, right? Let's see, hacker convention. It's like one of the biggest ones in the world.
HackerCon?
DEF CON. It's DEF CON. Okay,
DEF CON.
Never mind. So DEF CON, I was watching a show, and it's like they actually have signs at DEF CON outside all the buildings that say, please turn off your cell phone before entering the building, because it's like literally everybody there is like a hacker capable of like screwing with your cell phone.
Right.
So they're like, just don't even turn your cell phones on when you come in here.
So Lee Jordan says, what are your views on the FBI's plan backfiring with Apple? Facebook, Google, and Snapchat all reportedly exploring more ways they can more strongly encrypt the communications of their customers. I haven't followed the Apple news in a while. What was the final outcome with that?
I wasn't following it either. I thought that it kind of petered out because I didn't see much more about it. But it sounds to me like, but it sounds to me like every other company now is in fear that the government's going to be knocking on their door next. So everybody's beefing up their encryption to a level that they cannot circumvent.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny. That's hilarious because the FBI's like, we just want all the pictures off this one guy's phone, and it turned into now they'll never ever be able to access anything because companies are just going to make encryption even that much harder.
Michael V says, I enjoy watching both of your contents and enjoy it thoroughly. Thank you for doing what you do. My real question, at J and Barn, my reference 970 is running at 75C on load. What water block do you recommend? And also, either of you guys playing Tom Clancy's The Division. What are your thoughts on it? Happy St. Paddy's Day. So the water-cooled Nano S build I'm doing is running a 970 G1 Gaming, and I'm using an EK water block on that. I always highly recommend EK water blocks above and beyond most other brands. Just aesthetically, I think they're very pleasing. Heat Killer is another brand I really do like when it comes to GPU blocks. I would consider.
Is there really a GPU block name called Heat Killer?
A company, yeah.
That's hilarious. That's the greatest name ever.
I haven't played The Division yet. I don't have much time for games, and then considering it had a rocky launch, it kind of bugged me. And then I heard you have to like queue up in a line to talk to NPCs. That's crazy. I
played the little demo that they opened up before it went public when I was down at PDX Land, and I thought it was cool. Like, it's actually fun, but
like, it seems realistic, right? Like, you got to wait in line to talk to the vendor, but at the same time, it's a game.
And you can shoot and kill dogs, but if you shoot other humans, they just run away screaming. Like you can't kill innocent bystanders, but you can kill dogs. Like roaming dogs.
Where's PETA? Where's PETA on that one?
I know. PETA's probably not too thrilled with that. At least games like GTA are equal opportunity. You can just literally kill anything that moves in the game.
A. Nicholas says, yay, first time watching a wonderful show live. It's not wonderful, but thank you for watching. Start late for work tomorrow for the first time. P.S. Ban the racist guy in the comments. I already did. Carson T says, hi, I'm a big fan of both of you. Barnacles is the reason I bought 3 screens, and I love it. Jay is the reason why I water-cooled my PC. Guys, I'm worth more than just water.
Dude, I think we've established tonight that all you're good for is water cooling, and all I'm good for is big screens.
I don't want to just be in that box. I don't want people to like, I'm disliking this video because it's not water cooling.
I do like a cool video of me like driving a rally car, like all professionally edited and everything, and it gets like half the views because everybody's like, "No, we want to see a 3D printer time lapse going."
It gets half the views. It gets half the views because they know you didn't edit it.
I know, that's actually true.
P.S. I had to get a VPN to be able to donate and keep up the amazing videos. Hey, that's cool. So he actually was able to circumvent the location limited donation function.
See, that's a hardcore follow right there, man. When you're like circumventing your country's like infrastructure to send a donation, you're the man. You're the
Pointless Parodies says 3D printing is a myth. The myth, the man, the legend, Barnacles.
It is just like we never walked on the moon. The sky is in fact
we had to beat the Russians.
I still love that. There's still people who believe that we never landed on the moon, even though you can like look through a telescope. See the freaking reflector plate that they left for the the laser reflector surface that they put on the moon so that they could laser range find it.
How did
we get that there?
No. That's a 3D render.
Oh, that was just fake.
The moon isn't even real.
No, okay. I can't remember. I was watching a TV show once where the guy was on there and he was at one of those big observatories, with the big telescopes, and he's like, people still don't think we walked on the moon, but here, come here, look at this. And he actually fires a high power, it's like 100-watt laser, green laser, into the sky. It actually goes up and he moves it across the surface of the moon to latitude, longitude, or whatever they call it, azimuth or whatever. And a beam comes back and hits the sensor.
It sets the world on fire.
So it's like, come on, dude. It's not like, wait, we just found one reflective spot on the moon. No, it's the freaking array we left there.
Mark Dietzler says, Jerry, when it comes to CodeGasm, I would be happy on a tutorial on how to get the environment working with Windows 10.
Would you guys, if you guys want to CodeGasm with me, because I have to set up my environment again anyways, if you guys want me to do a video on how to like set up your Visual Studio and everything like that, and how to set up a VM and everything to use it as a sandbox, I could totally do that.
Griffin Crane, that's an amazing name. What's your name? Griffin. Griffin Crane.
I'm Griffin, Mr. Griffin Crane.
Griffin Crane. Love both your channels. Thank you. I love your name. Nick Johansson. I think he donates like every week, because every week I go, I wonder if her sister's name's Scarlett. Jay, I bought a Scotty vest and it's amazing. I like mine. I really do.
I've actually been wearing mine. Like, I didn't wear it when they first. This is the sad thing, is I love.
It's actually on the back of my chair right now.
Scotty Vest sent me some stuff, and I never got to do the video because I told them it was just too hot. It was summertime, and their stuff is a little bit on the heavy side because it's got so many pockets and everything. But now that it's like wintertime, it's like every time I go get on my bike and go for a ride, everywhere I go, I'm wearing that thing. So,
but see, yours is the vest. I got the hoodie. Yeah,
I'm gonna give them a shout out though, because the vest is completely legit. I wore it to the last PDX land. I absolutely loved it. So their stuff's really high quality too.
Will 205 says, "Hey guys, I'm looking at tarmac rally cars. Your opinion on Porsche 944 versus Ford Escort? Similar price here. Very different cars. 944 is probably better. Escort is probably more fun. Also has future potential for gravel use in the future. Also, my channel name suggestion is Jay's Cars. I thought about Jay's Cars. The 944, that's the one that kind of looks like a cockroach, right? It looks like a hatchback.
Yeah, it's a hatchback, and it's got like the big plasticky looking wing thing on the back.
It was
four banger front.
It was
mount.
a dud, wasn't it? Wasn't a flop for Porsche.
No, actually, it was one of their cheaper. It was one of their cheaper cars. It was their attempt to create a car that like the common man could buy.
I can't comment on that because I'm not a rally guy.
So there's a couple things. I've actually driven both those cars in both spec, Ford Escort and Escort Cosworth and 944 and 944 Turbo. If you're talking about the naturally aspirated versions of those cars or the non-Cosworth Escort, I would probably go with the Escort over the 944. But
Isn't
if you're talking
it lighter?
About yeah, and if you're talking about the turboed version of the car, though, I drove a 944 Turbo, and that thing was a torque monster.
Yeah.
I mean, it made so much low-end torque. I mean, on a track, as long as the track doesn't have massively long straights, which I'd imagine it wouldn't if you're doing rally, I think the Ford Escort would probably be the better option, unless it's a 944 Turbo. If you can run a turbo car out there, do it. But I don't think you can run a turbo car in some of those specs.
Gaming with Jimmy says, "Hey Jay, what case would you use for a first water cooling system?" Most cases today are actually very friendly for water cooling. Fractal Designs Define S is a great case for water cooling. The Arc XL, amazing case for water cooling. Corsair cases are pretty much compatible with water coolers. There's lots of options. It's not like 3 or 4 years ago where it was hard to find a case that would have enough clearance for radiators and fans. It's just so much better now. Mr. Fozzie says, "Thanks for answering my question, Jay. Jerry, have you ever used your Inventables X carve much since you built it? If so, what do you think of it now that you've had it for a while? Keep up the great work."
Actually, since when I shot the video, after that, I did another little nameplate thing for Xander's room, and then I snapped a bit off of it because of user error. I've got the new bits, and I just haven't used it since, but I actually do have a project coming up where I'm going to be using it to try to machine some aluminum very, very slowly, mind you, and then I'm going to upgrade it to the bigger router so that I can actually machine all kinds of metal. I definitely want to keep using it because, especially since I'm doing this project where I'm creating the butt kicker mounts for the simulator, I have a guy with a real CNC, like a 240 volt crazy CNC, creating those brackets. But after seeing what he was able to do and like what he drew up, I mean, it really got my blood pumping again to get back in front of the CNC. And I'm also going to be doing my Fanatec wheel that I'm finally getting on the simulator. I'm going to be making a bracket to mount a OnePlus 2 cell phone to run iHUD for my speedometer and my shift indicator. And so I'm going to be machining a plate out of acrylic that mounts to the steering wheel, flush to the steering wheel to hold that as like a dashboard. Right. So that project's coming up too. So yes, I am going to be resurrecting it. My biggest problem is it's giant. I got the one that's 3 foot by 3 foot, and it's really, really kind of unruly to move around and set up. So I need to find a better way to mount it. So I'm exploring options right now in my garage about hinging it to the wall so that when I want to use it, I can literally just pick it up, drop 2 feet, and I'm good to go. Once I get that done, then I'll use it all the time.
So Noex commented again. He said something earlier, then I said, "Why haven't I taught anyone how to do anything but water cool?" He says, "I did teach him how to do something. Apparently I taught him how to drill through a motherboard."
You will never, ever live that down.
You know, I'm okay with that because I could have just left that all out, right? I could have just left it out and never told the world. I have integrity. Damn it, integrity.
You do.
I have integrity. Not to be confused with the Integra. I got integrity.
You know what? I had mad respect for you posting that because you know me, I'm a guy that posts like all my mistakes. It's almost become a running joke on my channel. Like
it's every video you make, though, right?
It's every video I make. Let's be honest. So it was kind of refreshing to see that you're fallible also.
I think what makes it worse is in the middle of filming that, while I was drilling it, I even said this might be the stupidest thing I've ever done. Near, and then, yep, it didn't work. It's important to realize too that even if the motherboard looks like it's clear, like there's no traces there could be traces in the inner layers of the PCB. So yeah, just don't.
No, it's crazy how complicated those pathways have gotten now. The multi-layer pathways. Oh god, yeah. They're so, and you can literally break them with like your fingernail. Like if you pick at them, and scratch at the surface of the board. I mean, you can damage.
Well, remember how those traces are made though. The solder is actually melted and then it flows into the PCB. Like the pathways are created first, and then the solder is melted and it flows through the traces. It's really neat the way they make that.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways they do it. They do the acid tracing one where they basically etch a plate, and then they coat the plate, and then they just They just melt. They basically just use acid to etch away the material,
right?
So that the pathways are all that exist. Then they have another method that they use that's for I think larger amperage applications where they'll actually cut away the material. They'll start with like a copper plate on top of a fiberglass substrate, and then literally machine out the material around it.
Yeah.
And so there's all kinds of different ways that they do it, but it's crazy how small they've gotten those pathways. I mean,
I know Linus did a video on this recently, but it's not like it's something new that there's a lot of folks who are confused about when this whole process started. But Linus did the video about can you actually bake your graphics card in the oven to fix it.
I did watch that one.
That's been around for a long time. Years and years and years. People on the forums have been suggesting that if your graphics card stops working, take off the cooler, take off all the plastic on it, stick the PCB in the oven at a certain temperature for a certain length of time, and see if baking it will work. Because what happens is the solder, sometimes those traces, the solder over time as electrical current goes through it, it does get excited, and it will at a very small level shrink and expand.
Yep.
And over time, the solder traces can break.
Well, you know what else had that common problem was the Xbox. You remember the Xbox 360?
Yeah, the red ring.
You literally could wrap, and I can attest to this. This is me. I did this a dozen times until I could get another Xbox. I wrapped the thing in a blanket, hit the power button, started a game, and walked away until it locked up because it would red ring, right?
Right.
And then I turn it off, wrap it in the blanket, plug it in, and do it again. And I would keep doing that until it was so hot that when you pulled the blanket back, the plastic felt like it was at like the melting point.
Right.
And then I would let the thing cool down, and I'd fire it up, and it'd work for like another 2 weeks, like 24 hours a day, never lock up.
Because what's theoretically, not really theoretically, but what's physically happening here is you're melting the solder, which is kind of flowing and bridging the break in the solder. Yep. So that's what's happening when it's recommended that you got nothing to lose, right? If the graphics card's busted, then...
Oh, it was gone. It was like the Xbox was ready to go in the garbage, and I still got like another 3 weeks out of it. So.
All right, same thing with the GPUs. Where did we leave off here? So William Connor says... Damn it, mouse, stop it. I'm trying to catch up on these green comments.
You tell it, Jay. You tell it.
It's moving faster than I can do it. So William Connor says, I meant 980 Ti. Oh, wait. Hey, Jay, I'm thinking about upgrading to 980 Ti's and SLI. Should I go with the MSI Lightnings or Gigabyte G1 Gaming? Also for Jerry, do you recommend MMX 300s for gaming? Thanks for the great videos and keep up the work. So you go first.
The MMX 300s are fantastic headphones. They have great passive noise cancellation. The microphone on them is pretty good too, because you got to realize they started life kind of as an offshoot of aviation headphones. So they're really nice, but they are a lot of money, and I don't like the cable quality on them. Okay. I would say try out the Sennheiser Game Zeros. They have a similar sound profile to the MMX 300, and the microphone on it's more directional. So I'd say try the Sennheisers first. But the MMX 300s, I think, are more comfortable.
The new Sennheiser Game Zeros, they've revised them too, so they don't take as much power to run.
Yeah, you were talking about that. I still have the old set.
Me too.
But yeah, no, the MMX 300s, if comfort is your key concern, like if comfort's a deal breaker for you, go with the MMX 300s because they have the really soft, fabric-y, pillowy ear cups and the ample room, and they don't squeeze your head too hard. Not to say that the Sennheisers aren't comfortable. It's just compared to the two for long wearing time, the MMX 300s are better. But the Sennheisers sound freaking amazing. And I like that they have the dial on the side for adjusting the volume too. That's actually really helpful.
Now,
when you remember.
My problem with the Sennheiser though was the mic, even though it had built-in pop filter, was very poppy. That was my problem with the Sennheisers. For me,
the way I corrected it with that is I just moved it so it wasn't in front of my mouth. I literally stuck it way the hell out there.
I tried that, but it still was very poppy.
The MMX 300 has no pop to it because it has a really nice foam piece over it. So if you can afford them, that's the thing is I don't know what the current MMX 300 pricing is. Last time I checked, they were like $300.
Now, regarding the graphics cards, I would just go with the G1 Gaming. The MSI Lightnings are very hard to find. They're like unicorns right now. They're low run graphics card. Every day I probably get a dozen requests to buy my Lightning.
Yeah, no, look at this. The Sennheiser Game Zeros are going for $174 right now. The MMX 300s are still $350.
The Sennheisers used to be $300.
Yeah, no. So for dollar, that's a killer. I'd go for the Sennheisers. I mean, the Sennheisers are a no-brainer at that price.
Cody Schneider says, it's me again. Slap the pic on Ask Tech Talk. Realized I forgot to mention how great Jerry is. So hey there. Hey. So here's to Jerry. I will try to remember to check out the picture after the show. But after the show, I've got some things I got to get done too. Mark Dietzer again says, Jay, if it makes you feel better, I water cooled my main gaming rig before I started watching your channel. Well, good for you. No, I'm being serious here. Mr. Fozzie41 says, Jerry, I just ordered the Ultimaker 2 Plus yesterday to replace my Wanhao Duplicator 5.
That sounds pretty Chinese.
Wanhao. Wanhao. Can't wait for it to come. Yeah, you have cost me much more money by showing me 3D printing. And Jay, you inspired me to subscribe to your channel, not just water cooling too.
You're going to love the Ultimaker 2 Plus. Now, again, the Ultimaker 2 Plus is the next 3D printer I'm going to be reviewing, hopefully early next week. I already used it a bunch. We used it at PDX Land. I can tell you right now, they fixed the only 2 problems I had with that printer, and now it's basically just a perfect printer. The feeder had a tendency to slip on the old printer if you didn't get the temperature just right on the material, and you didn't have a hot end that was replaceable. So if you clogged your hot end or you had a problem, it was a nightmare to deal with. The Plus, they fixed both of those problems. Now you can literally just unscrew and screw on a new nozzle. You can change the nozzle diameter, and the feeder is amazing. The new feeder that they designed never slips. We printed at PDX, I want to say we printed probably 50 or 60 3D scans of people, and not a single one of them failed. The thing just went. It was awesome.
Cooley says, I have an FX 6300 OC to 4.1 gigahertz at and a 970 without or with.
He lost us at FX 6300. You want to just go to the next guy? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
He's got a 970 with 2 1080p monitors, main one being 144 hertz G-Sync panel. Curious if I should upgrade my 6300 to Intel Skylake. Feels like I'm being held back. Yes. PSJ, you've taught me so much about PCs, not water cooling. Taught me about voltage on PSUs, graphics cards, and motherboards. Thank you.
And a little love you emoji thing.
He answered this question. He said he feels like he's being held back. That's when it's time to upgrade, is if you feel like you're being held back. I can tell you performance for performance, the Skylake, runs circles and does loop-de-loops and figure eights around the 6300. But the question is, if your day-to-day tasks feels like the 6300 is holding you back, assuming you have things like SSDs and all that already. Yeah.
Well, he already has a 970 graphics card, so I'm going to assume the rest of the system is pretty decently spec'd.
Maybe. I mean, if he built the 6300 when it was new, he could have built that back in 2012.
That's true, and just upgraded the graphics card.
Yeah, or 2013 technically. Anyway, he said he feels like he's being held back. Now the question is, if you're ready to go to Intel Skylake and you want to get the full potential, it's going to be a motherboard, it's going to be a CPU, probably a better cooler. I don't know what your cooler is, and DDR4. So it's going to be a pricey upgrade. In which case, then your 970 will start to be what's going to feel like it's holding you back, but your CPU and your motherboard will be more future compatible.
See, I've noticed that as I've gotten a little older, my priorities have changed as far as upgrading. It used to be that I just wanted to build the biggest, baddest thing that was ever available. And don't get me wrong, I mean, given the opportunity, I'm still going to do that.
Now you just want other people to build it for you.
Exactly. but from a monetary standpoint, the only thing that really gets me off my ass to do an upgrade is when I notice that the games that I'm playing are at a lower frame rate, or I notice that the system's really chugging with the multitasking load that I'm putting on it. As long as it doesn't hit those walls, it doesn't go race through my head to upgrade. But when I was younger, I was like, the new processor came out, and even though my computer was just fine, I would just be like beating myself up to get the new stuff. Yeah. And I'm not like that anymore. I mean, now it's like get what you need. to get the job done. If you feel like it's sufficiently fast, then don't waste the money. Wait, because there's always going to be the next bleeding cutting edge thing, and you're going to hit that wall eventually. So you might as well hit that wall and upgrade when you can get the newest thing possible. You know, that's my opinion, anyways.
Knee Jam Warlock. Wow,
good name.
Warlock. He's a warlock.
He's a warlock, dude. Don't piss this guy off. He'll hex the shit out of you.
Spells. Hey Jay, big fan of both your channels. Both my channels or both of our channels? Because I do have 2 channels. I'm about to have a 3rd one. Anyway, you guys have taught me a lot, and all the hard work you do is appreciated. Well, thank you. I appreciate your appreciation. It means a lot. No, not enough people are appreciative, Jerry. I have 2 MSI Gaming 980 Ti's on SLI. Ooh. I'm not too happy with the temps, with the top card reaching up to 84. Ouch. When I play some of my games, I'm thinking about changing the thermal paste to Arctic Silver 5. Any thoughts? Don't use Arctic Silver on your GPU. It's conductive. So you're going to want to use a non-conductive thermal paste on there.
Wait, I think Arctic Silver does make a non-conductive.
So the original Arctic Silver 5 was conductive and not recommended for GPUs. Any thermal paste you use, make sure it's not conductive. But here's what I want to say regarding the top card. One, if you have space between your cards and it's not a dual slot or dual spacing there, then your top card's always going to be hotter than the bottom card because it's what has the monitor hooked up to it. Yep. So it's going to be hotter than the bottom card.
No, he's good on the Arctic Silver 5 from a thermal. It said it's not electrically conductive, and I just checked directly.
Good.
So yeah.
Thanks for checking. I haven't used AS5 in a long time because it was causing.
Dude, they have like 80 different variants of Arctic Silver, and they range in price from like $1 to like $30 an ounce. It's like ridiculous.
I don't believe changing your paste is going to bring your temperatures down. Quite honestly,
I just had somebody do that. Actually, I recommended that to somebody, and they actually went up in temperature by 2 degrees. Well, so I'm gonna go with Jay on this one. You probably shouldn't.
Well, it does take time for the thermal paste to kind of cure to and harden and make a good bond.
I hope that's the problem, because that worries me, because I was like, he said that his temps were up there too. They were like 89, 91 degrees or something on an older card, and he had another similar card in the system, and it was running way cooler. I mean, by like 20 degrees cooler. So I was like, oh, maybe your thermal paste got cracked or something. But yeah, that wasn't it.
Yeah, the 980 Ti, if he's talking about the gaming version, has a pretty beefy cooler on it. So I'm curious as to what the spacing is on his motherboard. If they're sandwiched together, if they're sandwiched together, that's normal. Digivoxel says, love the channel, guys. Jerry made me get a 3D printer, and Jay helped me water cool my toilet. Yeah,
nice. I'm water cooling my toilet next week.
We still have to do the bidet.
I got one. Did I tell you I got a bidet?
Saw your tweet. We need the AMD bidet.
Yes. I should put an AMD sticker on it. You dare me to put an AMD sticker?
Yes, do it.
You don't think Sapphire Ed would be mad if I put a Sapphire sticker on my bidet, do you?
Does he send you a check?
No.
Then fuck it. So.
Hashtag sellout. Okay.
Zen Langenbach says, thank you both for helping my work night go faster. Apple and the FBI are in a perpetual pissing contest over who is more evil. You aren't missing much. By the way, Jay, you did not help me get into water cooling.
Good deal.
Thank you for that.
Good deal.
Tyler says, thank you guys.
I like how this list is like growing faster than you can actually read it. This is going to become a problem in the future.
I know. Thank you guys. Well, because we have somebody actually keeping track of it so we don't miss anything, and we realize just how much there is.
I know Eric is doing a wonderful job. Hobseltoff.
Yes. Thank you, Hobseltoff. You are awesome for this. Otherwise, I just would have pissed off so many people right now. Thank you guys for the awesome show every time. Somewhat difficult to watch Tech Talk and play games. We'll donate to Jerry if I catch Tech Talk while he's hosting. We're just waiting for Full Screen to fix their shit for Jerry to be able to start live streaming again.
Full Screen, and it's actually more YouTube, but Full Screen needs to put the pressure on them.
Yeah. Jeremy Houston says, Jerry, I've been saving to get a Chevy Volt for a while now. I just saw your post about your problems. Should I look into something else? He won't have a problem with the new one, right?
Okay.
I mean, didn't they revise the
here's the deal. They fixed the specific problem that I'm having with the electrical door cover has been fixed. They basically
the problem is you're pushing the release button and it's not opening, right?
Yeah, you push the release button, it doesn't open, so what you have to do is jam your fingernail into the little groove, mash on the release button, and pull on it at the same time, because the little ejector that kicks it out breaks.
Yeah.
And it breaks every 3 months like clockwork. It's been replaced on the car 6 times. If you get the new model, they know it's defective. I have emails from both Chevy corporate and from the dealership both saying that, yes, this is a defective part on the 12 and the 13 model, and we know it, and we're not going to fix it. We're just going to keep replacing it under warranty. And
but eventually the warranty is going to run out.
It's going to run out, and then it's going to cost me $500 every 3 months to fix this thing, or I'll just have to get used to, sticking my fingernail in the hole and trying to jam the thing open. So what I would recommend for you is go test drive it and roll all the windows down and drive it down the freeway. If it still has the buffeting problem, do not buy it. What I mean by the buffeting problem is we didn't figure this out until after we bought the car. If you roll all the windows down in the car and you drive at freeway speed, it makes this loud buffeting, and it's so intense, it'll actually make you nauseous.
Yeah, I hate that.
And Chevy, I don't think they've changed anything with the actual design of the car. So it probably still has the buffeting problem, but those are my two biggest problems with the car is the buffeting. You literally cannot roll the windows down any bit when you're driving down the freeway, otherwise you get this freaking buffeting problem. And the door problem, but like I said, that's already been fixed. And the way they fixed it is it's a manual door now. You literally, like the gas cap cover, you just push it in and it just pops open. Like old school cars. Whereas the mechanism they put on the 12 and the 13 is like you push an electrical button, you hear this click, and it's like three electric devices working together to just pop a door open.
That's stupid. Why? Because they want to make it tamper proof?
Can I ask you a question, Jay?
Oh,
how
please.
fucking stupid do you have to be
Pretty
to put
stupid.
an electrically actuated door on an electric car? Because if the battery goes dead or you lose the 12-volt battery, how do you get the fucking door open to plug the car in to charge it? Can somebody answer that for me?
Can I play devil's advocate here, Jerry?
Please do.
Even if the car is gas-powered, it still has a battery that operates that.
No, but that's my point. Because even if the battery dies, the 12-volt, because it does, it has a 12-volt battery. But if the 12-volt battery dies, because it doesn't run that shit off the 400-volt or whatever massive battery pack. But it's like if your battery dies, you need to put fuel in the...
Do you want to hear something funny?
What's that?
The 350Z, the 2004 350Z I had also had an electrically actuated door to open up the gas tank. Okay?
Who does this shit?
Guess what the 370Z doesn't have?
Yeah, they took it off because it was a dumb fucking idea.
They don't even have a gas tank release button in the cabin anymore. It's just the push. You just push it and it pops open now.
Yeah, because if your battery was dead in a manual car, you can still push start the damn thing, so it still makes sense to be able to put fuel into it.
Yeah. They did away with that. Entirely.
It just was such a stupid idea, and they even did it when I reviewed the Cadillac ELR. They even changed it. I was like, wow, that's kind of weird that my Chevy Volt has this fancy electrical mechanism, and they went back to the Stone Age with this on their $70,000 EV car.
Guess what? We're almost caught up on the green comments. Fuck, Eric's adding another one. Okay, so
I got to get through them.
All right. Stellar says, Jay, found your channel while building my first rig. Wasn't looking for anything specific, just wanted something playing in the background. One of your videos auto played after a few, and while I had a strong hold on what I was doing, your videos actually helped and were very insightful. So I've been a fan ever since.
Organic.
Yeah, one of those viewers who found me not while searching for anything. It's just I love to let autoplay go every now and then, like on the car genre. I'll just let that go. Let's see.
I did that with Tested this morning. I was like, it just kept getting better and better and better, so I just let it roll.
But what I love about autoplay is it doesn't keep you on the same channel. Sometimes it starts bouncing around other channels.
Well, it depends. Tested, I watched 10 episodes of Tested in a row, so they somehow they somehow have enough content that it was doing it.
While I've been working on the Nano S build, I have several hours into that now, and I let YouTube autoplay. I ended up in the weird section of YouTube. It was kind of strange. Mooman says, what is your opinion on the R9 Fury X? I have one, but I was going to water cool it and later add a second one so I get the same performance as the Pro X2 at the end. Bat knife, please. Do bat knife.
No, bat knife. No, bat knife.
Okay, so the Fury X is already water cooled. They come that way. If you're talking about making it
happy to do that, it does.
If you're talking about making it custom water cooled, okay. So my opinion on the R9 Fury X is, if you're an AMD fan, that's the highest end card you can go with until at least the Pro X2 or whatever it's called is out. Getting two of them just so you can have the same performance of a Pro X2. Why not sell the Fury X and buy a Pro X2? I guess it'd be less power consumption and smaller package. I guess I don't know. I have a Fury X. I have a Fury Nano. I don't have a Fury. Ironically, they're okay. They really aren't bad, but there's more performance to be had with overclocking and 90.
Actually, staying with that topic, there's actually something I did want to talk about, and that was the AMD X Connect stuff.
Oh, but I have to catch up on these, man.
Okay, hurry up, catch up on them. Hurry fast.
Blank says, Jay, someday I will blame you for making me want to water cool my rig. You can already blame me because you do want to water cool your rig. Pub Shepherd says, I love you. Hey, Pup, he's here every single week.
Pup's always here, yeah.
Alexander says, when I last upgraded, I went with a Xeon E5 2680 V3, 228 gigabytes of RAM with a single GTX 980 Ti. What's the average life cycle for the workstation of this spec? I used cores with C# and TPL. What's
Dude, with 128 gigs of RAM and you're using it as a software development platform, that thing will probably be relevant for the next 6 years.
Yeah, forever.
Like
which is
5-6 years easily.
Itchy Dragon says, "Hey Jay, I bought a .177 BB pistol with your Amazon link. Enjoy, Merca." Pup Shepherd again says, "Went to my friend's wedding today, a genuine courthouse wedding. Had to edit the film in Adobe. What tech gift would you give someone who's not tech savvy for their wedding? Their wedong.
What tech gift would you give them for their?
He put wedong for their wedong.
For their wedong.
Digital camera."
I don't know.
I bought a good family friend of ours who just had their first kid. I bought them a Canon T5i. I thought that was important for them to have good pictures.
What tech gift would you get somebody that's not into tech? Like
Pornhub.
You know what? I get them coffee machine because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, espresso machine.
Machine.
Let's see. Street Guru says, "When y'all getting Patreons? Tech Syndicate's going well. Boogie doesn't even offer rewards to his. That's theirs. You can't say their Patreons are doing good by doing such and such. So we should do that. That's not applicable. You can't.
You know why I don't do Patreon? I'll tell you why I don't do Patreon. Because I get this question. This is probably one of the most obvious questions that I get, especially when like my stats aren't doing so great and everybody's like, "Are you still surviving? Can you eat?" The reason why I actually got an email from that was pretty funny. He was like, I was like, "Dude, I'm fine. Don't worry, I got this." But no, the reason why I don't do a Patreon, honestly, is because I don't feel like I deserve it, and I'll tell you why.
I agree.
I see a lot of people that are doing Patreon. I don't. Jay just drive
I
that
agree.
stake right
I
in my
agree
fucking
with
heart.
you. That's why I haven't done it. I don't feel like I do enough.
I don't feel like I deserve it, and I'll tell you because I watch people like Metal Jesus Rocks that do a Patreon where it's like they religiously release videos. All their Patreon goals are like
bonus
stuff
content.
that's non-unobtainium that they can stick up with, and it's like my release schedule because of my life and my health and everything lately, which I'm improving now, by the way. Has been really, really kind of edgy, and my channel's always been kind of random, and I just don't feel like I could commit to something like that. And I don't want to be one of those guys where, and this is no stab against Boogie. I mean, if Boogie doesn't offer rewards and people are still using that to support him, absolutely 100% support him on that. But for me personally, I would just feel weird having another mechanism out there for people to like donate on a regular basis when I'm not being held accountable to do anything. It's like Boogie releases videos on a regular schedule. I really don't. So that would make me feel... It'd make me feel bad, and I don't want to feel bad. Feeling bad is one of the things that makes this job really hard, and I'm trying to avoid anything that adds to that. But I'm not saying I'll never create a Patreon. If I can ever somehow pull my shit together, get all the stress stuff figured out with the IRS and all that, and get my head screwed on straight, and get things back to normal, then yeah, I would consider doing it and actually have like some cool perks and stuff like that. And I'm already doing stuff like with the Discord server and things like that, and I'm trying to branch out and communicate more, not less. So it's a possibility in the future. But right now, I don't deserve it personally. So
why you gotta be so self-righteous?
I am just self-righteous there, Jay. I don't deserve it. And everybody might say, well, you have a donation button. It's like, that's a little bit different. If you have a donation button, that's somebody who they enjoy your content and they want to contribute something or
for
kick
the record, you have to
you can do that. And it's like a one-time thing.
For the record, you have to put Patreon there. We didn't put the donate button there.
That's it. You have to set that up. But again, even with the donation stuff, it's like people might try to compare the two, and it's like the way I see it with donations is it's somebody that feels like your content like really helped them or something like that, and they want to kick something back for that in that moment. Whereas Patreon's more of a
kind of
commitment.
like a pay ahead.
Yeah, it's a subscription to a channel. Like, how would you feel if you like subscribed to HBO and they were like, this month we're not making a video? I mean, it's like that's kind of like what I'm doing, and I need to stop doing that. But until I figure that shit out, I'm not going to do a Patreon.
Yeah. It's that white guy says, love the videos, Jay and Jerry. Keep up the great work. I'm replacing my original car my parents gave me when I was 16, Honda Civic. I want more power and a V8. I've narrowed it down to the GT35R. Are you talking about turboing it? You want to put or GT350R? Is that a troll comment? I'm confused here. He says... I read that as GT35R. No, he's talking about GT350R. One, I thought there was only like 39 of them being made, first of all.
Wait a second. How did you win the lottery?
I know. That's why I'm wondering if this is a troll comment.
No, that's got to be a troll comment. You can't go from a Honda Civic to a super powerful freaking Ford Mustang.
Isn't that thing like $70,000? Something like that. It's like Hellcat price range.
Well, wait a second. Hold on. No, it's a Shelby. If it's a Shelby badged car, it's going to be $50,000 to $70,000.
I'm close. I'm sure it's closer to 70.
Okay, if you can afford a GT 350R, then get it. Absolutely get it.
Absolutely.
There's no reason not to. Shelby takes a shitty car and makes it awesome. He always has. Shelby is never disappointed.
And not to mention I just watched Drive's video on that the other day where they compared the two, and they completely the GT350R completely annihilates the LS7, which is more powerful, by the way. Same horsepower, much higher torque.
Hennessy
Camaro
has always made more powerful Mustangs, right?
No, the Camaro has more powerful engine. The LS7 has the same horsepower rating. Roughly, they're both in like the 515, 520-ish range. But the LS7 puts out way more torque. Yet the 350R beat it in many tests and on the track. It was the GT350, because it's no longer a live axle. It's we're getting into car talk here, because it's an independent rear. Completely outhandled the Camaro.
No, that's anything that Shelby was all about. Not just quarter mile performance. He was about handling. And that's why, have you ever seen the Hennessy cars where they have like 100 more horsepower than the Shelby variant? Like the Shelby GT500 versus like the Hennessy, what they do, it's a 700 horsepower Mustang versus like, I think it's a 550 or 600 horsepower Mustang. Right. They take it out on the track and the Shelby just walks it on the track. But in a straight line, I mean, the Hennessy just kills it because it's a drag car, right?
Yeah.
But no, if you can afford that car, oh my God, I would drive that. I'm not a Ford. I don't like Ford. I'm not a Ford guy, but I would drive that car. I would drive the shit out of that car. That's an exception right there. But on the flip side, if you got $70,000 laying around, you can take that Honda Civic, and you can basically drop a spoon motor in it with 2 turbos, some nitrous, and get like 900 horsepower.
Wait. This guy's talking about buying a GT350R, but he only ponied up $2. I'm starting to question the troll comment. I'm just kidding.
No, seriously, like, have you ever, it depends on what you want to do too, like drag cars. Have you ever seen the 8-second Honda Civics?
Have you ever seen the 7-second DSM?
You can build, but you can build an 8-second Honda Civics, like, you know, the ones where they put like the freaking drag slicks on the front of the cars?
Yeah.
And they have like 600-700 horsepower with turbos and nitrous. I used to go to the drag strip a lot and watch these guys. And the guys that built these cars, you'd look at them and you'd be like, these aren't guys that have tens of thousands of dollars laying around. I mean, they're building these cars on the cheap for probably, $15,000-$20,000, and they're running these quarter mile in like 8 seconds.
Yeah, and the cars
drive Civic,
and the cars are good for like 5 passes, and then they're done.
No, I think you're probably right about the transmission. Like, I know that they, like, you go back in the pits and it's like they have like 5 transmissions just like sitting in the back of the truck.
There's a pick apart.
But it's like an oil change, right? The transmission costs like $350, so it's like you just pop a new one in every 5 runs and you're good.
The extra 40414 gives us an ad block compensation. Thank you, sir.
Sweet.
FUB Freeman says, thanks guys for all the hard work bringing us the amazing content you make for us. Got no question, but Jay, no just opening my eyes to water cooling. You got me into overcooking. Overcooking. And Jerry opened my eyes to hot glue. Go Team Jay. Go Team Bat Knife. Toby Jones.
I feel like this Tech Talk's been a pretty good stroke session. And I like to get stroked.
Whoa.
Ego.
And you just flagged our video.
Damn it!
Do you guys play Black Ops 3 Zombies? If so, do you like it compared to others? Nope, I don't play it.
Black Ops 3 Zombies is actually really cool. I did actually get to play some Black Ops 3 Zombies, not this last PDX LAN, but the one before that.
That's the one that he said. He said 3 of us played at PDX in November. I had fun with that. I did like being the zombies and stuff, but that's the only time I played it.
It was good, though, right? I mean, we all had fun.
It was fun because you were right next to me, and it was fun to be on the opposite team when you were right next to me, especially when you were the first one I chomped on.
That was actually pretty funny.
I stalked you as a zombie
first, and then we played. What was that other game that we were playing where you where it was like you were a zombie?
Oh, different game. Never mind.
Yeah, remember that the graphics were shit on it. It was like based on like Counter-Strike.
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah,
and I remember you were like following me around forever, and you were like sitting right next to me, and I had no idea.
I kept crashing.
And then you finally bit me and turned me.
I had a lot more fun with that game actually. That was more fun than zombies. Alexander Morrow says, for the first, that was a dual X5 2680 V3. Otherwise,
okay, so 8 years. 8 years.
He's also asking if you need any help with the Codegasm series. If he needs help, I'm sure he will reach out. Andy Stewart, here's £10, real money, to make up for ad block on both the channels. Oh, Jerry Scooby sucks. GT4 rules. Okay. Oh, Subi. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. He's saying my Subaru sucks.
Bill G, are you gonna track Nizzy? If so, I would love to make a trek up to Willow or Fontana and help with the camera work. I don't plan on doing the Roval at Fontana anytime soon. Maybe street legal drags. You gotta understand the car. I want to own the car outright. I still carry a note for about half the value of the car. I want to own the car. No, I'm serious. In California, if I track the car and anything goes wrong, even if I buy track day insurance, my insurance company will drop me as a customer. I'm
That
serious.
sucks so bad. Like,
Even if the car is covered through track, because you go to the track, there's companies there.
yeah.
It's like, $150, you're covered. If you wreck your car on the track, the company that you just paid the incidental $150 insurance will cover the value of your car, which would pay it off. But my actual private insurance, if they find out I track my vehicles, even ones that are being covered by someone else for incidentals, will drop me as a customer. And I'm with a company that only covers people with perfect insurance or perfect driving records for an amazing
Okay, that makes a
rate.
little more. That makes a little bit more sense. Like I didn't realize that. 'Cause,
Dude,
like
I
up
pay
here in Washington.
I pay $140 a month to fully insure 3 vehicles with $1 million liability. So yeah, because of my driving record, and it's a company that will only insure perfect driving records. So if they find out I'm tracking my car, they will drop me as a customer.
No, that makes sense. I guess in that situation, I probably wouldn't do it either.
So
But since I own my
the,
car outright, my insurance company is just overpriced and has no idea of the whereabouts of that car. If I crash it, they're not even gonna know because I'm gonna just take it to the wrecking yard.
if you crash your car at the tracks here, they do take information on the vehicle. The track officials will take information on the vehicle and submit it, because people are quite often will wreck their cars at street vehicle drags and on the tracks, and then they'll try and do insurance fraud to get it covered because they don't buy the incidental insurance which is available at the tracks. It actually just happened with a guy here in a 335i at Fontana on the Roval. He wrecked his car,
Jeez.
got it towed, and then filed an insurance claim stating comprehensive that he went outside and found it that way. And then the track was like, submitted the information in the DMV, and then the insurance company pulls the DMV, finds the information, and then he was arrested for insurance fraud.
So Jay, I got this all figured out. I've solved the problem. All we got to do is take your car, put a vinyl wrap on it, take the license plates off, go run it, and then when we get it back to your house, we'll close the garage GTA style, peel all the vinyl off, and put the plates back on. Nobody will ever know.
Okay, so I'm going to answer one last donation comment, guys, and I've got to cut it off or the show will never end. I do appreciate this, though. Real quick, one, it's that white guy says it's not a troll. He's been driving the car forever, and he's now through college and has a good paying job. Now here's $15 since my 2 wasn't good enough for before. Love you. Listen, I love you if you've got a good paying job. Save up and buy the car. Save up and buy the car. Save up and buy the car. Don't
Can I address though the elephant in the room is if you have that kind of money. Okay, if you have that, and I'm going to assume you do because you threw down $15, and now we know you're serious, right? No, I'm just kidding.
17.
But, if you can afford a GT350R, why not just pony up a little bit more and get like a used Nissan GTR?
Because GTRs are fucking trendy as hell, and I'm sick of them.
Dude,
Everybody's
GTRs.
got them.
I know why you hate GTR, but
the GT350R is rarer than a GTR. Seeing one of those rolling around is a big deal.
It is rare, even though it's still basically just like your 370 and 350Z. It just looks like somebody strapped a bunch of parts onto a Ford. But anyways,
but it looks better.
What I'm saying is it is a beautiful car. Shelby, that's a beautiful car. But I want to tell you right now, a GTR from a pure driver's car, perspective.
Why
Jeremy
don't I
Clarkson
like it?
And all three of the guys on Top Gear UK, well, pre getting dumped, but all three guys said that was their perfect car. Out of their entire career, every single one of them agreed that was like the god car. Like, okay, not for every car. Single aspect for looks and everything, but they said as a driving experience, they all picked that car.
If you only care about the seat you're sitting in, the wheel you're turning, and what the package does, I get that. You said you know why I hate the GTR. Why do I dislike the GTR?
Because you couldn't afford it.
That's probably on the list there somewhere.
It is. You know it is.
Why don't I like it?
You hate the GTR because everybody asks you why you didn't get it when you have the 3.7.
No. That's why I get pissy when people ask me that, because I'm asked it all the time. But I've had a distaste for the GTR for long before that.
It's not a beautiful car. It's not a pretty car.
It's not about looks. It's the same reason why I don't like your Subi.
Because it's too fast for you? What?
It gives me headaches because it's so loud. No, I'm not an all-wheel drive guy. I'm not an all-wheel drive guy. I never have been. I had a GSX. I tried it. It wasn't for me. I like rear-wheel drive.
The GTR was designed from the ground up, though, to handle on a track like a rear-wheel drive car. That car can hang its ass out. That car can do everything that my Subaru can.
It's got a pretty active transfer case in there where it does kind of dynamically pull power to the front wheels.
I think it's one of the most sophisticated systems there is, like even by today's standards. I mean, the thing beats the Bugatti Veyron off the line for like the first 16 feet, but it's still pretty impressive.
Okay, I can't fucking afford one. Whatever. All right, so Yoda Ninja said...
And they're huge. If
All
you've
right.
ever seen one, they are the longest car ever.
If you've ever seen one, dude, they're everywhere down here. All right.
No.
So
okay, go ahead.
Yoda Ninja, this is the last green comment I'm going to answer, then we got to get out of here. Hey Jay, I was wondering if you'd ever be up for someone to come up and learn stuff from you, hang out, have a beer, etc. I'm in San Diego, not too far from you. That would be fun. In fact, I'm going to be doing something in the near future. I can't say too much more about it, but it will be a live hangout. It will be a live wake up in a ice bath. It will be a live hangout with me while I'm doing live building at a place, at a thing, at a time. Okay, that's going to be happening.
In a very public place with private security. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing around.
If you're asking if you can come hang out with me in my place, the answer is no. It's my house, dude. So people coming up to my house to hang out, that's not going to happen, and you can't exactly learn from me at a bar. Because you've all seen what happened when I drink. So
yes.
Anyway, guys, I know that there were some. I know there were some comments here that have been missed, guys. There was a lot that came in this week. Holy hell! Thanks for that,
crazy.
Guys. You know what I love about the donations?
That I didn't host today, so you get to keep it.
Besides that, no. What I really like about it is it lets us just for while they're coming in. Whatever YouTube's doing doesn't matter because it won't affect us because YouTube gives us 100% of the donation. They don't take a cut of it.
Yep. No, I think that's awesome. And plus it's nice because we know we're interacting with a lot of people that are like, it's not that you're not a supporter if you watch the show. It's just people that are donating and stuff like that. I mean, they genuinely are showing that they absolutely love what we're doing and they want a response to something.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually really cool that we get to spend so much time on that. And plus, it's a lot of stuff that people would have asked anyway. So it's it's good questions.
Yeah. Someone asked in the chat if I said I should get a classic 240Z and build it up. I wouldn't get a classic 240. I would love to get like a 510. Get like a Datsun 510. Dude, 510s are the shit. I love 510s.
Built 240Zs, though, are sexy. Like the really old ones, like the 70s ones, if you put the front splitter on them, I think are absolutely gorgeous cars.
Someone drove by not too long ago with a it was either a 240 or 280, I don't recall, but it had an LS swap in it. I'd be too tempted to do an LS swap.
No, there's a guy, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a guy at the car, that Ferrari car show that I went to a while back? I did a video on it.
What color was it?
It was silver.
This one was black.
240Z. And it pulls up and it's going, blah, 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 and I'm like, what in the hell? And the guy had the window down. And he's like, yeah, LS swap. And he takes off and like just roasts the back tires. And it was car's like 2,800 pounds, 2,700 pounds, and an LS in it. Don't expect it to turn very well. The lenses that they put on it to give, the lens covers that they put on the recessed lighting. Oh God, I love the way that looks on the old 70s cars. It just something about it. Just and you throw a wing on the back of it, and you're just like, oh my God, that's like. That'd be like a dream car for me. Like if I could take one of those and actually do it properly and put the mirror, the European style mirrors up front and the splitter on the front and the wing on the back. Oh God.
Sky says, sorry, just got here. Can you restart? All right, guys, welcome to Tech Talk number 105. We're going to get this started off with the intro. No, just kidding, guys. Guys, thanks for hanging out. As a reminder, I'm serious. I am starting a car channel. You know what makes this a big deal to me? It's not that I've always wanted to start a car channel. It's not going to be about a business. It's not going to be about making a ton of money or anything. It's just about a way to make videos and get back some passion. I have passion for making tech videos, but it's become more of a business. So there's some decisions there that have to be made that take some of the passion out of it and become more practical. The car videos can be whatever the hell I want, when I want. And in fact, I think the first car video of how-to is actually not going to be about Nizzy because Coconut Monkey, I've talked to him. He's going to be a big part of the channel. And he basically said to me when I asked him if he wanted to be a part of it, he's like, why, dude? Nizzy would totally overshadow Constance. Constance is the name of his GTI. It's a 2005 Golf GTI, 1.8T. And he's like, dude, Nizzy totally overshadows Constance. I'm like, dude, the channel wouldn't be about my car. And it wouldn't be about your car. It would be about cars and the experience. And I told him, I said, look, dude, you're Volkswagen. If anyone's owned a Volkswagen, they know Volkswagen's fucking... They troll the shit out of their owners. They're always breaking down, electrical problems, all kinds of craziness. I mean, Coconut Monkey's been driving down the street and had smoke just randomly start billowing out of the column, his steering column, like electrical smoke, and then just stop and never found the problem. So he's like, what the actual fuck is happening here?
No, their electronics are horrible, too. Like, everybody I know that has a Volkswagen, the dashboard's burned out. Like,
So I told him that, dude, I feel Constance would be more relatable to our viewers than Nizzy, because Nizzy's a weekend car. It's not a daily driver. It's got money available to put into it. It's not a cheap car. It's not exactly the everyday car. Constance, with her constant problems and him always having to like do repairs and stuff on it, is more relatable as a car to the general audience than something like Nizzy. And then I've got another friend who's got a 2007 Mini Cooper S that is going to also be a part of it. He's actually a photographer, so it'd be nice to have someone that knows how to work the camera. So yeah, we just want to be 2 or 3 car guys just literally monkey fucking our way through the content, and I think it would be fun. I really do.
I'd be willing to join in on that too remotely. Like if you ever wanted to do like a live stream style vlog or something like that, where we just bring up pictures of the cars and stuff and talk about them.
I would be all for that. And the cool thing is, it's going to be Jay's Fix. It's like a lot like Chris Fix. The cool thing is, I was talking to TJ Hunt about it. Granted, he's the kind of the new kid on the block when it comes to the car scene. He's growing like a weed, dude, man. Like 2,000 subs a day right now.
No, he's when I was watching your video, like he's pretty articulate and relatable, and those are the 2 things that you have to have to keep attention during a car review.
When we were talking, and I think a lot of people in his review of Nizzy, if you guys haven't been to TJ Hunt's channel, you can see Nizzy and my 370Z Nismo on his channel. He did a review of it over the weekend. It went live yesterday.
He compared it to BRZ.
His BRZ is pretty badass, though.
I know. I was just playing. It's like a 400 horsepower BRZ.
I think he's doing 350 crank right now, but after his E85 tune, he's going to be north of 400. But anyway, he gave me his full blessing. He's like, dude, do it. He's like, just do it. When we were talking about cars, he could tell I was passionate about it. And he told me, he's like, once your channel's going, dude, and you get it launched, he's like, come down here. I'm going to toss you the keys to Miley, and Miley can be your first review, for another person's car. I'm like, dude, absolutely, man. I'd love to drive Miley. So we're going to do it. I just am having a hard time getting the freaking channel name. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting the channel name together. But anyway, then I'm going to get the channel branded, get it up, and just have fun with it.
Jay's Rides.
Jay's Rides. And it could work. I could do my bike. I could put my bike on there.
There you go.
Jay's Rides. All right, anything you want to say before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I want to finally talk about the fucking AMD X-Connect I keep getting cut off about.
Next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Dude, it's 6:45, man. We're 15 minutes past.
It's okay. It wasn't worth talking about anyways, because, the first 3 letters of it was AMD, so I don't know why we're even bothering. Okay, never mind.
I thought those first 3 letters were POS. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week, guys. It's not that important. You're not going to be that excited. It's all right. I'm fine.
Anyway, is that it? Do you have any videos coming up? Anything? Nothing to tease?
I am editing my bike video tonight. That's what I'm doing after I run in town, do everything.
You're such a copycatter doing bike stuff. God.
Well, I'm doing electric bike stuff, so it's a little more for the fatties that don't want to invest as much energy.
Big old tires, too, man.
God, that thing is awesome, dude. It's a lot of fun. I've now, what do I put, 30 some odd miles on it? 36 miles on it since I test drove it on Sunday.
That's cute. That's really cute.
Well, you've seen my terrain, though, Jay. Come on.
No, you have no... Dude, you are fucking flat as the plains, man.
You were not... Dude, not even fair. Put it this way. My hill is so steep, and Jay knows this. My hill is so
Water
steep
actually
my house
goes
that if
down.
I have to stop my STI, no matter how fast I engage the clutch to take off on that hill, I will roll back 3 feet, and the damn thing will... the clutch will smell like burning clutch.
But that's just because you have all that moss weighting you down.
I hate you. Roll that outro. I'm done.
All right,
I'm done.
roll the outro.
Cut.
Jay's a dickhole. This is the Dickhole Show.
Jay's a dickhole. Roly poly dickhole. Jay's a dickhole. Yes, he really is.
I'm not gonna. I own it. I own it. If you're gonna be the dickhole, you gotta own the dickhole.
Own that dickhole, Jay.
All right, guys. I own the dickhole. Bye.
Bye.